the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, welcome in, race fans, here to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It is championship week here for the United States Racing Association, the USRA, here for the Cup Series. It's been 17 drooling. Yeah, I say drooling because it's been an all slugfest between two drivers drooling over each other all season long, and it has come down to this final race, week 18 here, to decide who's going to win a championship. But before we get to that point here tonight, well, as always here on a Thursday night, it is Muth up here in the booth. I got alongside me Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, the analyst here, the driver behind the wheel, who's probably turned more laps here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway than, well, a lot of these drivers out there. And Taylor, so far here tonight for championship week, it's a very cool night here from Charlotte, and a lot of these drivers actually have been noticing having a little bit of difficult time coming out of turn number 4.
Yeah, I'm noticing they've gotten really loose off that corner in particular because it's a really narrow corner to begin with, and then when you guys got guys racing side by side, that track just really narrows up through there. This is quite a fun racetrack, and even with this package, I know this package gets scrutinized a lot, but it makes for some exciting racing. These guys will be able to run wide open for about 10 laps or so, and then they'll start having to really drive the car, but Jeff Pogo coming into this race, basically all he has to do is start the race without any issues, and he's going to walk away with the championship.
Yeah, Jeff Pogo does come into the night 51 points over Luke Lafaro. Those two have been back and forth all season long, but as of late, Luke Lafaro has been having a little bit of issues here with a couple of events, finishing a little bit farther back than he is used to. There's still a championship points lead going on, though, or not a lead, but a little bit of a battle going on for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th position between Eric Hawley, Jamie Leach, and Dan Dill, all separated by just 2 points coming in here to the night. Steve Holmes is sitting right behind them. He is comfortably sitting in the 6th position. Ira Cole-Haas sitting in 7th. Aaron Davidson is 8th. Jared Hagedorn, unfortunately, not here. A sim rig wheel malfunction a couple weeks ago and has not heard back from Fanatec just yet, so he is sitting there in the 9th position. Donald Bennett rounds out the top 10. Chase Berry, John Mullins back there. They're pretty close in the point standings for 11th and 12th. Michael Bromley is 13th with Cody Levitt 14th. Jason Harrison is 15th. Christopher Brown is sitting there 16th in your point standings. Michael Sturgill is 17th. Jim Odetzel, been a disappointing year for the driver of that number 2. He is sitting there 18th in points. Robert Dudley is sitting 19th, and Dennis Skip Carmen is in the 20th position here. That is all coming into week number 18, the championship race here, presented by 5150 here. It is championship week. And the man who put up the sponsorship here for the night, Doug Ungari, not here with us tonight as Doug is moving to Montana right now. So big shout out to Doug on his big move. We hope everything goes all right. But before we get into the qualifying session here, we're going to step away. We're going to play the national anthem. We'll be back here to take on the final qualifying session of this season.
Oh, say, can you see? So proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
Welcome back here, race fans. Qualifying is underway. One of the first drivers onto the track going to be the draft top number 7 here of Michael Bromley here. Got a new paint scheme out there, a tribute to the driver, to the basketball player Kobe Bryant, unfortunately losing his life with his daughter. So Bromley throwing a little bit of tribute to one of his childhood heroes out there on track, hoping it brings him luck here, along with the draft top sponsorship on the side of this number 7 Chevrolet. As he comes across the line, though, it'll be a little bit slow. It'll be the 10th quickest driver out there on track. Steve Schmidt of the Holy Schmidt race team, though, right now has the top spot here in our qualifying session.
Second lap is definitely going to be faster than the first lap by quite a bit, as it takes these tires a little bit to get up to temperature, plus to get these cars fully wound up since we are wide open around here. And Justin Wilson right now, as he has so many times this season, on top of the leaderboard as we stand at the moment.
Yeah, Wilson on top of the board with 2 of your championship contenders. I guess you're 1 and 2 in points, you can call them. The heavy hitters here tonight. Jeff Pogo got a little bit of a red paint scheme out there tonight, so you can find him on track. Don't worry, there's another surprise. Same car out there on track with Dan Dill, but Jeff Pogo right now comes into the night as your points leader, just needs to take the green flag like Taylor had said earlier, and then he actually will secure himself not only with the Cup Series championship, he will be the first one to win 2 different series championships here with the USRA as he goes P13 here on his first lap. Luke Lafaro is also out there on track, and he actually is going to go a little bit better with this Toyota. He will actually qualify 10th here on his first lap. Luke Lafaro has not won a championship here with the USRA league as a driver. He'd be looking for his first one, but it's just going to come up just a little too short here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the driver of the 20 out of California.
There's still a lot of good things in the future for him. Just, still a young kid and getting his feet wet in these leagues. But like you said, coming up just a little bit short, a little bad luck over the last couple of weeks at Talladega in particular, and last week at Homestead. But what a tremendous season for Jeff Pogo. 13 top 10s entering tonight's race, and only 2 finishes outside the top 10. Only 1 win, but like we said, that consistency is what has propelled him to winning this championship tonight.
Yeah, Jeff's worst finish came back at Daytona for the season opener, where Luke Lafaro actually got his first win of the season. And, well, everybody knows Daytona is pretty much one of those crapshoot races anyway. And then the next worst race that Jeff Pogo had was actually an 11th place finish at the Phoenix Raceway. And, I mean, an 11th place finish, really, when you think about all the talent that is out there, isn't that bad of a finish to start with. And after that, it's just been top 5, top 5, top 10, top 5 all season long for Jeff Pogo. He does have 1 pole to his name this season also, in 17 starts here this season. It's just a feat that, I mean, you really have to go over to the Xfinity side of things to really see a similar comparison, and that's Justin Wilson. He just has it locked down on the Xfinity side of things, and he won the championship on Tuesday for that, as, Jeff could possibly win here tonight.
And speaking of Justin Wilson, he is going to be our pole sitter, and last week's, the man who almost took the win away from him at Homestead last week, Dan Dill, is going to be on the outside of the front row here.
Yeah, it looks like qualifying will be in the book, so it will be Justin Wilson snagging the final pole here of this season for the USRA Cup Series. So congratulations to Justin Wilson on notching himself not only the championship on Tuesday, but the pole award here tonight. So as these cars start to grid, let's take you through the walk here of your starting lineup. Row number 1 here tonight, we just said it will be the driver of that 58 of Justin Wilson, and right alongside of him, it will be the driver of the 81, Dan Dill. Row number 2, it'll be the Holy Schmidt, Steve Schmidt, out of Topton, Pennsylvania, and how about the man out of Ohio, the Great Lakes Brewing number 2 of Jamie Leach. Row 3, it'll be the Taco Bell number 90, well, it used to be the Taco Bell number 90 of Michael Sturgill. Incorrect fact here on my note sheet, Taylor. Mark that one down. But Michael Sturgill will start row number 3. Eric Holly will start there right alongside him. Row number 4, it'll be the Pure Ink number 10 of Chase Berry and Robert Dudley there with his ALS 49 machine. Row number 5, it's the all bucked up Chevrolet driver Big Country Cole Haas in that 33 and the California Kid of Luke LaFaro. Row 6 here tonight, it'll be another one of the Pure Ink cars. It'll be the number 4 of Jim Ott, and right alongside him, it'll be the big green machine of John Mullins. And Taylor, John not able to make it into TeamSpeak once again here, so it doesn't look like we're going to be able to snag an interview with him, but he'll start row number 6. Row number 7, it'll be your championship points leader. It'll be the 24 of Jeff Pogo, and right alongside him will be the, I believe it's the new White Claw sponsored 91 of Ryan Jones. Cody Levitt, the Las Vegas Kid, will start here row number 8. Next to him will be the draft top number 7 of Michael Bromley. Row 9, it'll be the Sim Speed Shop driver out of Pennsylvania. It'll be the 36 here of Jason Eisenhower. And next to him, it's it's a Pure Ink stacked field. It'll be the 44 this time, though, of Jason Arison. Row 10, it'll be the Pennsylvania driver, the 31 of Donald Bennett. And how about the Carolina driver of Steve Holmes and his big Grizzly number 9. Final driver here to make the field. It'll be row number 11. It'll be another one of the Pennsylvania Posse drivers. It'll be the 68 of Miroslav Mach in his Toyota. And that will be your 21 drivers here tonight for the 5150 championship race here presented by Doug Ungari.
Well, you mentioned Jim Ott's tough season. Well, it just got even tougher as he has been throughputed before we even get going. I'm going to be keeping my eye on Michael Sturgill tonight. Remember how well he ran last week at Homestead and gave Justin Wilson a run for his money until they had a little bit of a strange contact under caution checking up for the pace car, and Michael was none too happy about it as it gave damage to his left front fender and relegated him all the way back to 6th as that car did not handle at all in the last run. So sure he'll be looking to make his way towards the front and maybe settle the score with Justin.
Well, we're about to go green flag racing here for the final time. Well, I say green flag racing for the final time. You never know what will happen behind the wheel of a lot of these cars, but the iRacing pace car ducks in here for the final race of the season. The green flag is about to wave, and here it is. The green flag is waving tonight here in the 5150 championship race, and it's a good start here for the driver of that Cartoon Network 58. We have the battle for the second position, though, as Steve Schmidt is looking to the inside here on Jamie Lee, number 22.
We're making note that Dane Gill, the outside pole sitter, has elected to start from pit road.
Car, a little bump drafting going on down the backstretch with Wilson and Schmidt and Sturgill. Jamie Leach, Eric Holly with a huge bobble there off turn number 4, but the lead lap number 1 here tonight in the 5150 championship race will be Justin Wilson once again leading a lap here on lap number 111 with a little bit of a blowout issue right now, left back in the different position.
This car is really a handful right now. Not only with the tires just now coming up to temperature, but this setup just feels just very loose overall, especially on the bottom off these corners. And we talked about turn 4 in the pre-race, Roger. I've already seen, like we mentioned, Eric Colley. Already seen a couple guys really kind of squirrely off that corner, and we should expect that all race long.
And another one that was just squirrely off turn number 2. It was the squirrely Chase Berry machine. That blue Pure Ink number 10 was in all sorts of out of shape. I just heard a lot of drivers talking before the race here that everything was just so sketchy in these cars in the early stages as Holly was sideways once again and looked out of turn number 4.
Eventually, after they run a few laps and they're unable to run wide open again, they're going to start moving up the racetrack. Justin Wilson still has about a 2-car length lead over Steve Schmidt, and Michael Sturgill's already moved into 3rd place. Dan Dill, after starting from pit road after earning the outside pole position, he's currently half a lap down and needing a caution flag quickly.
Well, I did talk to Dan Dill and Jeff Pogo, who were running the same paint schemes out there tonight. And you know, when you guys run the same paint scheme like these two are here tonight, I said one of them's going to run up front, guaranteed. The other one's going to be running all the way out back. And right now, my prediction is pretty much true. Jeff Pogo right now has that 24 machine right there in the 8th position. Dan Dill all the way back in the 20th spot. And we talked about Jim Ott here in this pre-race show. As you see Jeff Pogo all over Ira Kohlhaas there for that 7th position. Jim Ott is back in the race.
Yep, he is 2 laps down at the moment. And now that, as we mentioned, Jeff Pogo, now that he's gotten through his first 6 laps cleanly, I mean, since he's got the championship locked up, I mean, he can do whatever he wants tonight. Obviously not go out and there be reckless, but he can maybe take a chance and try to steal a win on strategy or something like that.
Yeah, you never know what's in the little mind of Jeff Pogo. He may have stacked a couple extra phone books in that car here tonight to jack himself up just a little bit higher than what he's used to, and maybe he's going to pull the belts even tighter and go for a win here on some. We talk about it, Charlotte here. You can pull the tire strategy out here. You could pit a little bit earlier possibly and get, those tire pressures built up and start driving past people on those older tires, gain a little bit of time that you have lost. But right now there is no time lost, because right now your top 10 drivers all within 1 second of the leader of Justin Wilson here on lap number 8 tonight.
It's going to be interesting. The length of this race is 160 laps. We see Michael Sturgill complete that pass for 2nd position. Steve Schmidt going to drop back side by side for 3rd. But based on the length of the race, it's going to be interesting as far as who's going to try to run it and stretch their fuel mileage, and who's going to play the 3-stop strategy and get tires early and do the leapfrog strategy that you were talking about.
We'll have to see where the yellow flags fall here tonight. Right now, falling to the 4th spot would be the Holy Schmidt. Steve Schmidt there in the number 11 machine falls from the 2nd spot back to 4th as Sturgill and Barry work their way around him here to complete lap number 9, though Wilson is still out front. He has led all 9 laps so far here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Looks like Ryan Jones is looking to the inside here on Jeff Pogo. Jeff Pogo, it looks like he knows what his fate is here tonight, and he just goes to the outside groove. He will not contest the 91, as he knows he's drinking a couple White Claws here tonight of Ryan Jones. And now Luke Lafaro and Jeff Pogo go side by side down into turn 3, and Jeff Pogo will just allow the 20 of Lafaro to go right on by him, and Lafaro now will take over the 10th position.
Justin Wilson has some company at the front. Michael Sturgill's pulled right to the back bumper. Familiar face from Homestead. I'm sure Michael Sturgill won't waste any time if he's going to try to make this pass for the lead.
Yeah, Sturgill, one of those drivers that was unable to make every race this season, but every time the 90 of Sturgill has hit the track here with the USRA boys on a Thursday night, he has made his presence known here. And, well, once again here, it may say the 5150 championship week, but he doesn't care what week it is. He is out here to try and put himself in victory lane. As you see a lot of guys like John Mullins.
Almost got the wall right there.
Yeah, they're up the track now, starting to work a little bit higher through the corners.
Eventually that top lane will start coming in, but it looks like the bottom still looks like to be the place to be right now.
Yeah, the track temp only being 77 degrees, so it should have a ton of grip, even though we see these cars moving around a lot, dancing, sliding off the corners. Possibly just very, very low tire pressures here tonight at the Charlotte Speedway. As now Luke Lafaro looks like he is still trying to get past the big green machine of Mullins. And, that bottom lane, I'm sure if you save your tires long enough compared to a lot of your competitors, even though they move up the track, you're still going to be able to work the bottom groove and get around them that way. Right now, Lafaro is down there on that bottom groove, and every so often he noses an inch here and an inch there farther front here on Mullins.
It'll be about lap 30 or so when they're on it is where you'll see who's been taking care of their tires the best, because they won't be dropping off quite as much as those who have been abusing theirs. As we look like Jim Ott has been throughputed once again.
Yeah, just not the Michigan natives' year at all here. Real close racing there for that 10th position between LaFaro and Mullins. They almost made contact down into turn 1, but they're still able to gather them up here and drive side by side down the backstretch. They are the only 2 drivers that are side by side on track out of this 20-car field that are still left out there. Dan Dill is still the final position runner on track. He is sitting 21 seconds behind your leader here of Justin Wilson.
I'm sure he was expecting some carnage at the beginning of this race, but these guys got spread out just enough. And now he's sitting 21 seconds behind their leader, and right that last lap ran at 30.3. The leader, Justin Wilson, ran at 29.9.
Yeah, so a pretty big difference there in the early stages for Dan Dill. You know, he's always one of those drivers that tries to play a little bit different strategy than a lot of the field. He doesn't like to follow, I guess, how he would say is the rest of the sheep around the track, so he likes to play strategy of his own, and in his own right, it worked last week from Homestead. As you remember, he started on the front row there and led a lap and then dropped all the way to the back of the field and drove right back up through it. But right now, he's got a very long way to catch the field because it's 22 seconds now for the driver of that 81 here as we watch this battle for the 8th position, as Ira Kohlhaas in the bucked up Chevrolet has the spot right now. But here comes the white Claw, Taco Bell, Mountain Dew, Baja Blast. He's had the sponsorships this year, and it's Ryan Jones here. Jones just can't seem to come off the corners, as you saw him right there. He was down real close to the apron there, exiting turn 2, and that allowed the bucked up Chevrolet of Kohlhaas to really start to pull back around him. That outside lane for Kohlhaas, though, he's just losing a lot of ground in turn 3 and 4 there. Now here comes Mullins, because you see Jones takes the position away for the 7th spot. Now here comes Mullins, and here comes LaFaro. Mullins going to dive to the inside on Jones here in turn number 1. Make Jones go up the track a little bit in his white Chevrolet.
The gap up front still, actually Justin Wilson's pulled away about a half a car length the last couple of laps from Michael Sturgill. But back around 7th on back, its intensity is picked up.
Yeah, Mullins now leads this group here. You see him in the green 64 Chevrolet. He is in the 7th spot. Jones in the white machine. He is shown in 8th. LaFaro is 9th, and Kohlhaas just to the edge of our picture there in the black 33 car. He is the 10th place car. All these drivers are right now battling behind your leader here at about 2.5 seconds behind. Jeff Pogo also right there in a little bit of a scrum right behind Ira Kohlhaas. Robert Dudley is up to the 12th position. Cody Levitt's right behind him in 13th. Those drivers all within 4 seconds of your leader. You have to go a little bit farther back to find the Sim Speed Shop number 36 here of Jason Eisenhower. And that Sim Speed Shop car also has a new sponsor that he's been carrying for the last couple of weeks. Linear Edge is your top designer if you're looking for a 3D virtual, not virtual, but 3D cutout of your favorite circuit, whether it be a road course or, well, if it would be my home track of the Pocono International Raceway. You can get it to hang on your wall or hang next to your sim rig, and those are pretty cool little items, along with some of the Sim Speed Shop gear.
Yeah, it's some pretty neat stuff that they got going on right there. As there was some damage on Jeff Pogo's car, a little bit on the right front, kind of similar to last week, but he was able to fight through that and score another top 5.
Yeah, that damage could have possibly came right there out of turn number 4, because we saw, I believe, a spark or two fly off one of the cars in front of it. It looks like it possibly was Ryan Jones, because he is up the track and a little off the base as everybody is working to the inside of him. You know, you get behind these cars. Yeah, these cars have the low horsepower, high downforce package, and you know, you get behind a car and that dirty air really disrupts the front turn of these cars, and it could just make the car tight out of turn number 4. That's possibly what could have happened to Jeff Pogo in his 24 machine, as he sits right behind Kohlhaas and Jones as they go side by side down the tri-oval here.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot this year over all the 1.5-mile tracks, particularly last week at Homestead, because these guys have got to carry so much speed through the center of the corner that dirty air just seems to be even worse than it was in the past.
So right now. Pogo still back here in the 11th position. As you see Kohlhaas with a huge wiggle out of turn 4. Pogo got to turn to the left there and try and see if he can get underneath that Chevrolet of Kohlhaas. He will down into turn 1. So Pogo's looking to come back into the top 10 here, ever so slowly trying to work his way back up to the front. Side-by-side battle, though. Luke Lafaro is on the mission, and he is trying to go to the front here in the early stages of this one. We're only on lap 25 here, and all 24 laps previous to this have been led by Wilson, and that will carry on here as he crosses the start-finish line, so it'll be 25 laps for him. But you do see the 20 of Lafaro pass up the number 2 of Leach, and now here comes Ryan Jones. He's going to look to the inside here on the Rev Toyota, number 20 of Lafaro, to see if he can take back or take away the 7th position.
Just an amazing year on both ends of the spectrum for Justin Wilson, as he's now led over 560 laps in the Cup Series alone. I mean, we know what he's done on the Xfinity side, winning the championship and just dominating over there, but over here on the Cup as well, the next closest total is, as far as laps led, is Luke Lafaro with 240. So he's led twice as many laps and only about 10 starts compared to everybody else with about 18 starts. So needless to say, when he gets in this race, he's the man to beat.
Yeah, those are some crazy stats being put up by Justin Wilson that will go down into the stat book here for the USRA. That will be hard for any of these drivers to beat going forward. Kohlhaas up against the outside wall there, it looked like, possibly with the bucked up Chevrolet, scraping maybe a little bit of that right rear decal off the bucked up Chevrolet. Now he's got, looks like that is the 39, 11th to the inside, and Steve Holmes also right there. Holmes, I believe, carries into tonight the least amount of incident points for drivers who have made all 17 starts, and I can actually tell you that is a true fact. He has 41 incident points over 17 races. That's a feat that will go down, because the next closest to him will be Jeff Pogo, who has 87 incident points here coming into Charlotte, and he's also made all 17 races. Luke Lafaro is third in your incident point least amount with 17 races, because he has 90. So 3 of those drivers have some crazy good, I guess you want to say, skills to be able to compete in every race and have such low incident counts.
I mean, that's only about 2.5 incidents a race. Given the amount of carnage that we've seen at times, that is pretty remarkable. Did make a note that Michael Bromley in the 7 car has been into the outside wall, and he came down pit road. Is now 2 laps down in the number 7 Chevy.
Well, that Chevrolet sporting those Laker colors and the draft top sponsorship on the side of that car now has a long night ahead of him. Dan Dill, so since Dan Dill's ahead of him, he will move up 1 position into the 19th spot, but he is still sitting 25 seconds behind your leader, which is about 3/4 of a track.
For all you Jason Ayerson fans, standing back here, he has considerable front end damage. He's obviously running to the back of someone, and he is well off the pace in 17th position.
Yeah, that is a lot of damage on that 44. Not sure where he got it, but that will hamper his performance here for the rest of the night, as we still have 129 laps to go here, and this man still hanging out front here, pacing the field. So far, the Cartoon Network 58 here, and Justin Wilson has led every lap here tonight, and he'll notch another lap under the belt category for himself as he brings Scooby-Doo across the line. So the Scooby-Doo man has a 2.3 second lead over these 2 drivers back here, the 90 of Sturgill and the number 11 of the Holy Schmidt machine.
And over the last couple of laps, I mean, he's just been tearing up, just ripping off lap times 0.2 faster than anybody else. A lot of it due to that clean air. And now a battle for second position, as here comes that Holy Schmidt, number 11 of Steve Schmidt. Not quite going to clear Sturgill. He should have the preferred line going into turn 1.
Yeah, these 2 battle side by side for the second position. That will allow Chase Berry to start to close the gap. He was about a half second back, but now these 2 drivers punching such a huge hole in the air as they go down the backstretch. So it'll be a 3-car battle here as they enter turn 3 for that second, third, fourth position. Right now it is Schmidt holding the second spot, as you saw him get around Sturgill. Sturgill going to try to peek to the outside, get a little bit of air to the nose of that machine. Will not be able to go back around him, but he will close right back up to the bumper here at the start-finish line. And then Chase Berry also nose to tail for the front, well, second, third, and fourth position. Right behind them is Eric Hawley and the green machine of John Mullins. They are starting to close the gap, actually, also as those guys up there for the second spot start to mix it up, because here comes now Chase Berry will go to the inside on Sturgill in turn number 3.
We complete lap 35 out of 160, so if we do the math and were those who were going to do the 3-stop strategy, the pit window would open in about 5 laps, that they would split 4 runs of 40. And they're going to have to come up with some kind of strategy to beat Justin Wilson tonight, I would have to say. Although we recall last week, Justin Wilson did miss pit road under Green and Homestead, and that led to that really nice battle between he and Michael Sturgill, so he knows he can't afford to make that mistake again.
Yeah, right now has a 3.2 second lead and growing over Schmidt and Berry and Sturgill, Mullins, Holly, LaFaro, Pogo in 8th, Jones is 9th, and Holmes makes his first appearance into the top 10, and they are still battling back here side by side to figure out who can have the 10th spot or better. And right now it's Dudley shown with his ALS Association machine. They're in the 10th position, as now it's the number 9 of Steve Holmes. They just keep passing it back and forth like a hot potato back here, and it's definitely a hot mess, if you will. As Cole Haas, remember, who was up inside the top 7 at one point with that bucked-up Chevrolet, is all the way back to the 12th spot. Now he has a lot of heavy lifting to try and come back through here on this long run if he could possibly do it.
I would say these guys would have to go on maybe on the 4-stop strategy because of how much time they've lost battling side by side like this and just tearing up those tires.
Yeah, so it'll be Cole Haas and Dudley for the 11th spot now. Dudley's been stuck to the outside. The Sim Speed Shop driver with Jason Eisenhower is right there, also in that 36 machine.
Oh, contact down the backstretch is Dudley and Eisenhower, a little close quarters right there, and looks like a little net code there between Dudley and Cody Levitt.
So that'll move Dudley back to the 14th spot with a little bit of damage, I think, on that right front. I'm not sure if it was there beforehand. Maybe a little bit better camera angle will be able to show that, and maybe I'm just imagining wrinkles on the hood of that machine. So now it will be Holmes in 9th, Cole Haas in 11th, Eisenhower in 12th, Levitt is 13th, Dudley is back into the 14th spot.
We do have one car on pit road. That's Miroslav Mach in the 68 car, and now I can see who Jason Harrison got into the back of. Is Harrison had pretty heavy front end damage, well Mach has pretty heavy rear end damage, so he was just about 5 seconds or so from going all out down.
He could also probably be playing that 3 pit stop strategy as he is within that window to be able to pull that strategy off. Guessing maybe at most, if these drivers start to save on a very long run here tonight, they might be able to hit the 59 lap marker. It'd be pretty close to see that strategy work out. But right now we're on lap 42, so we have a little bit of ways till we get to that. And out front by 3.5 seconds now will still be the Cartoon Network Shaggy Doo. I guess if you want to say Shaggy Doo, it works out, but it'll be Justin Wilson.
Well, if you're going to stretch it on fuel, it would be with the runs 54 laps and then 53 and then 53. That would equal 160. See if these guys can make it that far. We got a battle between Michael Sturgill and Chase Berry for that 3rd position, still hotly contested between them two. John Mullins waiting to see who to follow.
Mullins in that bright green machine has been coming through the field here in this early portion of this race. It is only lap 44, and he is up to the 5th position, and he is definitely hungry. He called his shot earlier in the week. He wanted to know what the TeamSpeak address was here for the Turn 3 Racing Network. We gave it to him. He didn't get in here, but he did call the shot that he was going to come here to Charlotte. He was going to win, and he was finally going to get in the TeamSpeak to talk to us here. Well, he's here, and he's charging through the field, except he is not in TeamSpeak, so possibly not going to get to talk to John Mullins.
I'm going to have a talk with him about that. But he made a nice pass right there on Chase Berry, and now he sets his sights on Michael Sturgill. But yeah, from 12th up to 4th. Remember the solid third-place run he had a week ago in Homestead.
So it's pretty safe to say that Mullins right now has the most positions gained so far here tonight. Jamie Leach has seemed to be a little off the pace the last couple laps. I've been watching the timing and scoring, and Leach has really started to fall backwards with this Chevrolet. I'm not sure if there's something wrong with Jamie Leach's car, or if it's a possibility of something wrong with the rig that he is in right now. Maybe computer issues or something. But that Great Lake Brewing number 2 has just been off the pace as you see the lap down car of Miroslav Mach go around the outside of him.
Yeah, we talk about John Mullins being a comer. Well, Jamie Leach is definitely a goer as he started back up in 4th spot. And yeah, he's plummeted through the field in the 15th and looks like he just right in front of that car looks to be gone.
So he's back in 15th. Right behind him is Donald Bennett in the very brightly chromed 31 machine. He is back here in the 16th spot, just kind of roaming around for the time being. Bennett's been having connection issues, I believe, since about last Wednesday, and he is here just hoping that he can have a good finish and his connection stays stable enough to finish the car, or finish the race with a car intact. Right now running in the 16th spot, 18.5 seconds behind your leader of, well, Justin Wilson. And it looks like Sturgill, something happened to Sturgill, or he is actually coming down pit road here on lap 49.
Cutting this one a little bit short, I would think. I would have to imagine that, oh, see any damage on that car, so.
Yeah, he may have just, oh, and he misses his pit stall.
Oh.
That's going to be detrimental here. Maybe Sturgill just thinks he ran the good off the tires. He'll come down now, he'll pit, he'll put 4 fresh tires on, and now it looks like here comes Schmidt.
Comes Ryan Jones.
It looks like Jones has been into the outside wall with the right rear of his White Claw hard seltzer machine.
Oh yeah, definitely. You see it, the hood crinkled up on the right front. We wait and see when Justin Wilson pulls his Scooby-Doo car down pit road.
I think Wilson at this point is probably just going to run it till she's out of fuel. It looks like Bennett has also been down pit road. He is back out onto the track. Dan Dill, well, it's showing he's been on pit road, but that's because he started there. Jeff Pogo, Eric Holly down pit road, along with Robert Dudley. Dudley has been into the outside wall. I can officially see that now with this camera angle as he comes down pit road. So the right front of that ALS association in memory of Penny has been into the outside wall at some point here tonight.
Now these guys have got to really be careful on some of the guys that haven't pitted yet, because they're going to be flying through about a second and a half faster than the cars that have not stopped yet.
As the green flag pit cycle continues, Luke Alfaro, Cody Levitt coming down pit road. That will leave 7, I believe. Dill, Harrison, Kohlhaas, Holmes, Berry, Mullins, and Wilson all have yet to come down pit road here tonight. 108 laps remain here. This is lap 53 as you see Robert Dudley coming onto the backstretch there, right in front of our leader of Justin Wilson. Will he be able to hold himself from going another lap down? Right now he has shown 2 laps down in the 17th position, and it looks like Wilson's going to come down pit road this time by
See if John Mullins, he might stay out to lead a lap because he's trying to get himself into the top 10 in points. And with Donald Bennett way back here in 18th, that he's the man who entered 10th in points.
You also got to take into consideration there with that Jared Hagedorn, who came into 9th, and along with Aaron Davidson, neither of those drivers taking the drop of the green because both of them have sim rig issues, so they will plummet through the standings here.
Justin Wilson down and away.
As he is down and away, but Mullins is still on his way around the track here. He might play the long run strategy here. And as long as they have green flag runs here tonight, you can definitely play two different strategies. You can stay out late here on your first run, maybe short pit your second one, or if you need another pit later in the race, you know, you might be able to kind of shoot that one in the middle of the gap. A lot of these drivers could come early now, you know, and stay late later, or come early and come early each time, and you know, maybe the newer tires early will play the better factor for them. Right now, though, it looks like 5 drivers still have yet to come down pit road. Mullins, Holmes, Kohlhaas, Everson, and Dill still out there on their initial tires at the start of this race.
See Chase Berry leaving pit road. Mullins still out there. He's not coming in this time, so that's now 56 laps on those tires.
Yeah, but the number 9 here of Stephen Holmes will give up his top 5 position here, and he'll bring the Grizzly machine down pit road out of the 3rd position.
I was about to say, waiting for scoring to update right now. Steve Schmidt is shown in front of Justin Wilson because Wilson stayed out those few laps longer. Right now it would be huge if a caution comes out, because that would put Schmidt in the free pass, and Wilson would have to rely on the wave around.
Which I don't think would affect him at any point. Jason Harrison coasting back to pit road in his 44 Pure Ink machine. Might be out of fuel with that car. And then there were 3. Mullins, Kohlhaas, and Dill still out here pacing the field here on lap 58 here. When will they come down? Right now, Mullins has a 4.5-second lead over Kohlhaas, and then an 18-second lead over Dill, and I believe they will stay out here for another rotation around this 1.5-mile track, as though Jeff Pogo, and I believe that's the 7 of Michael Bromley, almost made contact out of turn 4. Bromley going to draft top the top of the wall there and put a little scrape down the side of that Kobe machine.
Yeah, a little anxious moment catching up to Ira Kohlhaas. That's what we're talking about. Just how the closing rate is so big with these cars flying on new tires compared to the guys still on old tires.
John Mullins down pit road in the 64, so that'll turn things over to the driver of the bucked-up Chevrolet, Ira Kohlhaas. So Kohlhaas will be credited with a lap, and he is now working lap 60, so that'll leave just Dan Dill and Ira Kohlhaas. And now here comes Dan Dill down pit road, and he is hard on the binders as he almost spun out that 81 machine.
I saw a couple of guys last week at Homestead have issues entering pit road, but that'll turn the lead over to Justin Wilson as Ira Kohlhaas comes down right now.
And Justin Wilson just passed up Steve Schmidt, so once this all cycles back through, it'll be Wilson, Schmidt, and it looks like Jeff Pogo might be there in the 3rd position once all said and done. And Pogo and LaFaro, your 2 top championship contenders, are battling out here on track. Both drivers on a pretty similar schedule. Jeff Pogo has 1 lap older tires than the 20 of LaFaro. Let's see if that plays a factor in the late run here.
Michael Sturgill behind them, so that big slide through his pit stall really cost Sturgill. He is going to be 5th. And he was run up battling for 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, wait for the timing and scoring here to all update, as it's all still a little bit jumbled. All your drivers here tonight, all 20 drivers that are still left on track anyway, let's put it that way, have been down pit road now here, as Jim Ott has had issues from the drop of the green. His number 4 Pure Ink car, though, is shown in the 21st position, 53 34 laps down here out of the 61 completed tonight. And as the timing and scoring readjusts, let's take you through your top 10 drivers. Right now is the Cartoon Network Justin Wilson, who has led 53 laps here tonight. He is out front by just about, well, call it car length over the Holy Schmidt. Steve Schmidt, number 11 machine. Schmidt pitted early here to try and gain the track position. He gained all that time back that he lost to Justin Wilson on that long run. But now, with Schmidt having a little bit older tires, Wilson has gone back around him and has now started to set sail. Sitting in the third position, about 3.5.
Got a spin on the front stretch. Chase Berry keeps it under control. Actually, he didn't spin out completely, but he was all crossed up. Made a nice save.
Well, why don't we just hit the replay button and see if we can throw it back a little bit and see what happened to the number 10 here of Chase Berry. This is the replay out of turn number 4. What happened to Chase Berry? Oh, the car just looks like it got light, like he tried to do the road course portion here of Charlotte. And
looked like that thing was kind of pushing up towards the outside wall and maybe put a little extra wheel into it to not hit the wall with the front, and the back popped out from under him, but nice job of hanging on.
So that'll drop him from running inside the top 10 all the way back to the 12th position right now. And I'm sure those tires are heated up a little bit after that big old slide.
Yeah, if they weren't before, they definitely are now. But behind him, Jamie Leach in 13th, Stephen Holmes in 14th, Ira Kohlhaas, who led a little bit there during that pit cycle, is 15th, Donald Bennett 16th. No 16 drivers on the lead lap. Dan Dill in 18th is a lap down after starting from pit road. That didn't work out the way he was probably planning on it.
Yeah, right now Dan Dill not hoping the caution comes out because he would not be the lucky dog right now on track. The lucky dog position would go to the driver of the 68 Under Armour Toyota. That would be Miroslav Mach. So Dill has a little bit of ground to, make up before he would want to see a yellow flag here tonight.
And Mach is at the start-finish line now, and they're still going across. So, although he does have a clean car, and Mach does have quite a bit of rear-end damage.
Dill does have about 20 lap fresher tires on that 81 machine, so he could be reeling him in pretty quick. But watching this Robert Dudley battle back here, Chase Berry, Robert Dudley, Jason Eisenhower. And I saw a little bit of connection issues there with the 10 of Berry.
More. Yep, he almost came down on Robert Dudley right there, maybe not even knowing that he was down there because of his blinking issues, but that could have been big.
Yeah, so now Berry's going to look to the inside here on the 8 here of Eric Holly. Berry has the newer tires than Holly. And Holly wisely going to just move up the track and allow Chase Berry and his blinking connection to go right on by him. Holly now, though, is going to have to fend off the 49 here of Robert Dudley. Dudley is going to go around the inside, and there's going to be no challenge. That outside groove for the 8 of Holly is not working right now.
Oh, yeah, the inside lane, it's pretty dominant throughout the first, say, 30, 35 laps. Even Holmes goes by Robert Dudley as well, or pulls even with him. Well, Dudley kind of pinching him down a little bit. Now Holmes makes his way by.
So it'll be Berry to the 9th spot, Holmes in 10th, Dudley back to 11th. Jamie Leach got around Eric Holly, so he is shown as the 12th place driver that time by. And then it's Eric Holly in 13th, and Jason Eisenhower sitting there in the 14th spot.
This race for the lead up front, I know we're back here in the middle of the field, but Steve Schmidt has not let Justin Wilson get away at all.
Yeah, he's been able to sit there in the draft. Maybe Wilson, though, knowing that he has the newer tires, more fuel on board that 58, maybe he has backed her down just a little bit here in the middle stages of this race. We still got 90 laps to go, but we still got a few more pit stops tonight before this one would be over. And if it goes green to the end, what good would a 14-second lead be for Justin Wilson when he can just hold Schmidt there at about a 4 car lengths lead and just kind of ride around here and try and save as much of his equipment as he can for the final stage where he can go like heck.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That he's just conserving right now. Although Steve Schmidt was kind of gaining on him a little bit at the end of that first run, but yeah, I definitely see Justin kind of just taking it easy for now. And you're right, like, doesn't matter if you're out front by 4 car lengths or 4 seconds or 4 laps.
Steve Schmidt just sitting there hanging on to the backdraft of the 58, and Wilson a little bit farther back, and still your championship 2 of Jeff Pogo and Luke Lafaro sitting 3rd and 4th, and they are just sitting about, well, 2 car lengths apart from each other, just like your 2 leaders are out front. They are sitting, though, 3.5, almost 4 seconds actually now back from your front 2.
Michael Sturgill still in 5th, now about 8.5 seconds behind the leader. So that slide through the pit box, as well as he has about 5 or 6 laps older tires compared to the guys ahead of him. So that undercut strategy did not work out like he was hoping. At least not so far.
Not so far. Ryan Jones, as I believe I just saw Mullins out of the camera angle in my shot there as we were looking back at Ryan Jones. I think I saw Mullins hanging it out sideways in his green Chevrolet. But he gathers it up here, as now we're under yellow. As I think that involves the 44 of Jason Arison. Yep. And it might involve, is that Michael Bromley in the 7 draft top machine.
Oh, yeah. Right through the second dog leg, these guys got together. Back up the racetrack for the 44 of Arison in a hard impact. Sure, Bromley might not be too pleased. I'm sure he thought he gave Arison plenty of room, but...
And how about Donald Bennett? Bennett comes through there unscathed.
Yeah, somehow.
Barely. Let's ride on board with Donald Bennett here.
That's definitely a butt-clenching moment for him.
Oof. So now we were talking about, though, Justin Wilson having, only a 2-car length lead compared to having that, 2-second lead. So now this caution, if you had the 2-second lead, it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
That's right. Now it comes down to executing on pit road as these guys, some of these guys need to hustle to catch the car in front of them. Lucky Dog should go to Dan Dill, as he is being shown ahead of Miroslav Bach on the racetrack. So a big break for the 81.
And it does look like everybody here on your lead lap will come down pit road. Nobody will stay out for a possible lap lead here in the final race of the season. Here it's the 5150 Championship Week, presented by Doug Ungari, who is not in the championship and not out on the racetrack, as he is back home. I believe he's still parked in California here for the rest of this week, so tomorrow would be headed towards Montana. But 4 tires and fuel for the full field here. It looks like Wilson's down on the way. Schmidt is down on the way, but it'll be close. Wilson, I think, at the line. We'll let iRacing figure that out. It is Wilson, Schmidt, Pogo, Lafaro, Sturgill, Jones, Mullins, Berry, Levitt, and Holmes. Your top 10 drivers off of pit road. And while we're under this yellow flag, what do you say we get an interview in possibly here and see if we can talk to the driver of the 31 who had just barely missed that accident? Let's see if we can dial up Mr. Bennett in the turn 3 car. Donald, you got a copy? It's Muth and Taylor up here in the booth.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
You're here, my friend, but while you were down on pit road, did you go change the shorts?
I did. I think I messed them pretty good. The wife's not going to be happy about that.
Well, tell us how you made it through that scuffle there going into turn 1.
Well, I've seen it unfold, and I just kind of let off the gas, see where they were going to go, and I thought, going high would be the right spot, and all of a sudden here they come, and they bounced off the wall, and I must have let off just enough to sneak through.
Yeah, it was
But whatever
certainly
the
close.
case, yeah, whatever case, it was just enough. But now that we've run 70 laps and had a caution, now do you think that the field's bunched back up? Do you think we'll have some more, or do you think it'll get spread out again?
I something tells me it's just getting started. You know, I mean, usually cautions breed cautions, so.
Yep, they sure do. And we know how desperately you want to stay in that top 10 in points as well.
Absolutely, that's why I'm out here. Just trying to stay in the top 10 and finish strong, yeah.
Well, Donald,
Yep.
there's still 83 laps to go here. We'll get you back down here. Good luck the rest of the way, and try and keep that beautiful Bromley Designs Chrome 31 in one piece here tonight.
I'm gonna try. Thank you, guys.
Well, Taylor, he said it was close, and he said his shorts were certainly messy after that one. And he's going to have a chance to mess up the next pair here once we go back to green flag racing.
We're going to have 17 cars on the lead lap. Eric Holly had some issues on pit road because he's the last of those drivers. Bet on injury or something, because I see him watching his pit stop and he's just sitting there for a while. But as the field gets one to go signal, today the racing world lost quite a all-around driver. John Andretti passed away of colon cancer, and he's been battling it for about 3 years on and off. And just a terrific talent and a great guy all around. On 2 cup races, including Daytona July race in 1997, and won over in kart, finished in the top 5 in the 91 Indy 500. And definitely going to be much missed out of that Andretti family. So I'd say on this restart, stay silent for a couple of laps in honor of John Andretti.
Yeah, John Andretti, one of the greats out of the Andretti Racing stable out of Pennsylvania. Also spent some time in the USAC world of things. Was a great driver on dirt as well as asphalt and in the open wheel scene. So here on the Drop of the Green Flag, we're stay silent here for a little bit and let these boys race it out. Well, you saw it all unfold right there. Race fans, the 91 of Ryan Jones and his white Seltzer machine going around here out of turn number 4. We stay green flag racing, and right here at the front of this field, it is Wilson, Schmidt, Pogo, LaFaro, Sturgill.
Jones back to 17th spot on the racetrack, about a half a lap behind. He's basically, again, just hopped out from under him, way back in the center of the corner, all the way on the exit, and Unfortunately for him, the caution did not come out, so he's trapped way behind me.
Yeah, he's trapped way behind, and Schmidt right now is trying to get ahead, and that's ahead of Wilson. He ducked out of line there going into turn 3, but he was not able to get the Holy Schmidt Chevrolet to the inside of Wilson to force him up the track. So Wilson will lead another one, and that is 75 laps, I believe, here in about 5 laps. If Wilson continues to be out front, obviously nobody will be able to surpass him in laps led tonight.
I mean, just look at him be able to paint the blue and white line there all the way through the middle of the corner. Top 6 have kind of separated themselves. Big gap back from John Mullins. Back to Chase Berry, who again has a big wiggle off turn number 2. Who's that up on the highest side? Looks like Jamie Leach falling back like he did at the beginning of the race.
Oh, and Eisenhower down into the AstroTurf area here on the tri-oval with his Sim Speed Shop car.
Now that one looks like Chase Berry's incident, like he was gonna hit the wall with the front end, turn the steering wheel a little bit, and took a trip through the grass, but luckily no damage.
And Miroslav Mach came right up on Eisenhower real quick in that black Under Armour machine, almost making contact with the rear end of the Sim Speed Shop car. But it looks like they were able to keep them off each other, and we stay green flag racing. 86 laps now in the books here tonight, and Wilson has led 78 of them. Mullins has led 6, Cole Haas has led 2, and those are your only 3 leaders.
Well, Steve Schmidt wants to be that 4th leader as he is all over the back end of Justin Wilson. He might have a run. Wilson's got to defend that inside position. Schmidt going to try to make this pass on the outside, maybe?
Yeah, he's peeking to the outside with his Chevrolet. It doesn't look like he's going to have the run, so he'll duck back in line behind the 58 there out of turn number 2. He'll follow him down into 3. He has a really good run here, and Wilson knew it. Wilson protected to the inside. Schmidt going to run about a half car length higher into turn number 3. And see if he can diamond off the corner there down to the inside. He will not be able to. Wilson's just that good at protecting the inside line here tonight.
While this is going on, the top 4 have company with Michael Sturgeon and John Mullins have caught right up to the back of this group.
Yeah, they caught the back of that group while they were kind of swerving in and out, and there's another group back here about 4 seconds behind them of Robert Dudley and Cody Levitt battling side by side through this tri-oval here for the 7th and 8th position. Eric Hawley's right behind them, and then it's the 81 of Dan Dill, 33 of Cole Haas, the 2 of Leach, the 31 of Bennett, and the 9 of Stephen Holmes. So 8 through 14 right here under the little bit of a blanket.
Wilson up front doing a great job protecting that inside line off the corner.
Kind of reminds you of the old rookie street stocks. If you run in the bottom, they can't get around you, but Wilson's going to make a mistake. He's going to throw one too many blocks, and up the track he goes. Here comes Steve Schmidt. Can Schmidt put the Holy Schmidt car out front?
He's got Jeff Pogo and Luke Farrows. He nearly rug right there in turn 3. Got some help from those guys behind him. Dead even off turn 4. At the line.
It'll be Wilson at the line once again, so he'll hold the lead. That is 83 laps now led for the driver of that 58 machine, and he's going to pinch Schmidt down there. He's going to make Schmidt work to get this lead from him here on lap 92.
Michael Sturgill trying to peek the nose under Luke Lafaro, but to no avail. Now Schmidt looks like he's having to get out of the gas a little bit, a little wiggle. Wilson's going to clear him one more time. And here comes Pogo to the outside. Good stuff up at the front.
So Wilson will retain the lead, and then now Schmidt will have to hold off the Hornets' nest as here comes Pogo down to the inside, down the backstretch into turn 3, challenging the 11 of Schmidt for the second position. Can Jeff Pogo go to the front here? Can he get up behind the 58 of Wilson and try and challenge him for the lead? At the line, it'll be Wilson, and then it's a dead heat. It'll be Pogo, then Schmidt. Sturgill, LaFaro, your top 5. Mullins has fallen off this group just by about 5 car lengths now. Possibly waiting to see what happens, as it was getting a little dicey there for a moment here at the front.
Well, knowing John Mullins, he definitely tries to stay away from when he sees some stuff going on in front of him. You kind of just take it easy for a bit and let it sort out, and then he'll catch back up, because he's still only about a half a second. That's well within the draft. Yeah, now Schmidt is going to get passed by Pogo, and now Sturgill not quite. Well, he cleared himself down to the bottom right there across Sturgill's nose.
He'll go to the inside here on Jeff Pogo and try and take back the second position. As this all battle is brewing here inside the top 5, it looks like Chase Berry has disconnected here.
Oh my gosh, I saw what happened to him. He hit the wall off turn 2, spun down towards the inside wall, and then went tumbling. That did not bring out a caution. Well, just the one caution on the evening for the incident involving Michael Bromley and Jason Ayerson.
Both drivers back down pit road. Bromley did come back out for 1 lap there in the 7 machine. So his draft top machine right now is shown in the 19 spot, 22 laps down. He's been on pit road for the last 4.5 minutes. Jason Ayerson is shown right now in his Pure Ring 44 in the 20th position, 23 laps down. They've single file back out here at the front of the field for the time being. It's the 58 of Wilson, the 11 of Schmidt, the 24 of Pogo. Sturgill runs 4th, LaFaro in 5th. 6th there in this 6-car breakaway will be John Mullins. Behind them, though, it's still the Hornets' nest. It's the 81 of Dan Dill, the 49 of Robert Dudley, the 33 of Ira Kohlhaas. And then it's the 38 of Cody Levitt. Behind them by a little bit, then will be Jamie Leach just outside the top 10 in the 11th spot. Then Donald Bennett up to 12th. Eisenhower in the 36 machine is 13th. Holmes is running in the 14th spot. Ryan Jones with that big slide back in 15th. And Eric Hawley is way behind the field here and way down on power.
That's some damage.
Yeah, he is
right front.
running in that 16th spot, the final car on your lead lap here tonight.
And he actually got on the wall and spun down the front stretch again. Did not bring out a caution. And looking on the replay, Stephen Holmes had a wild ride through the grass. I'm not sure how that didn't bring out a caution, though, because he kind of slide up right in the groove. But how about Dan Dill? I mean, this guy continues to just pull some amazing stuff as he gets really close to Robert Dudley right there. I mean, started from pit road after qualifying on the front row. Got the free pass onto that last caution. He's driven from 17th spot up to 7th in about 25 laps. Sound like a broken record. Basically did the same thing from a week ago.
Yeah, and with final pit stops closing in here for the drivers tonight, it'll be one more pit stop to make it the rest of the way with 60 laps to go. I think you could pit right now.
I'll go into the wall. 3rd place. Like got a little bit of that dirty air off the 11 car of Schmidt. Yeah, the window is going to be opening here in a little bit. But you definitely want to come down and make sure you can make it on fuel for green-white checkers.
Yeah, you never know what will happen out there on the racetrack. Right now, though, Wilson knows that he's out front. Schmidt's still there in 2nd. Pogo, despite hitting the wall, is still sitting there 3rd, as Sturgill looks to the outside of him, who is in 4th. Then it's Mullins in 5th, and Luke Lafaro has fallen off just a little bit. I'm not sure if he was up into the outside wall while we were paging back through the middle of the field, but now Sturgill has the outside momentum on Jeff Pogo, and it looks like Pogo hits that apron a little bit. That's going to allow Sturgill to go around the outside on the exit of turn 4.
I think Luke's car is okay. I think he just might have breathed it a bit, seeing what happened to Pogo in front of him. But the question is, to me, like how far, based on this second pack behind these leaders, the way they've been racing, maybe it might be better to run it out, considering what's been going on back there, to not get burned by a caution.
Yeah, here you go. Real close racing once again for the 7th and 8th position. Dudley going to go to the inside on the 81 of Dill. Dill gives it to him, but he's going to give him a good run down the front stretch here.
Michael Bromley back on the racetrack, although very slow on the apron. 29 laps down.
Yeah, it looks like him and Jason Arison are just kind of passing that final position back and forth. You know, Bromley came out, he did a lap, he came into pit road. You know, he was sitting there for a couple minutes, and Arison came out, he did 2 laps, and now Bromley finds himself back out on track, and now he's going to bring her back down pit road.
Donald Bennett back in 14th. He's been into the outside wall.
Well, this is why we can't have. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yep, exactly. Unfortunately.
The other Pennsylvania driver out here tonight, the 68 of Miroslav Mach, not on the same lap as Bennett. Bennett is 14th on the lead lap. Right now, Miroslav is 17th, 1 lap down. He'll go to the inside on Bennett out of turn 4, and he'll make his way around him in that damage under on the Toyota.
Well, Eric Hawley back in 16th position. He's in danger of losing a lap to Justin Wilson. That third place battle in the points, this could be big for him in a negative way. There's the drivers 3rd, 4th, and 5th separated by just 2 points among them. Between Holly, Jamie Leach,
And Dan Dill.
Dan Dill, that's right. And the way Dill is running, he might overhaul those 2.
Yeah, Leach is only 1 spot behind Dan. Dan runs in the 8th spot. Jamie runs in the 10th spot. But, yeah, tallied all those points up. Right now, Dan would actually leapfrog Eric, and he would also leapfrog Jamie, so he would be sharing 3rd in the points with his 2 wins on the season. But it is early yet, you know, it's not early in the lap counter, but it is still early in the night because, well, 52 to go, anything could happen. Green flag pit stop still pending here. Right now, Wilson does find himself out front a little over a 1.5 seconds over Michael Sturgill. Then Sturgill has about a 5 or 6 car length gap back to Steve Schmidt, and then John Mullins in his green machine has now run down Schmidt and is going to be looking to the inside, possibly going into 3.
Well, right now, it's pretty plain and simple that the only way you're going to... Actually, here comes John Mullins right now. Just as I was saying, the only way you're going to beat Justin Wilson right now is by hitting ahead of him.
So
that's exactly what Mullins has done with 50 laps to go.
Yeah, Mullins will be the first one down pit road here with 50 to go, and this is going to be his final stop. So this is the money stop for the driver of the green Chevrolet. Let's see as you come down pit road, and it looks like a pretty easy stop there. It looks like he's right on the mark, so it'll be right side tires. Left side tires in for him, as Wilson's going to carry on back around. Looks like the 91 of Ryan Jones is down pit road also this time by.
Comes Cody Levitt on the pit road. Well, he came in there awfully hot. Not so sure he was speeding right there on entry. The leader stays out one more time, Wilson, but here comes Schmidt. Here comes Pogo, and here comes Lafaro.
Yeah, Yeah, a lockup of the brakes there for Steve Schmidt. He gets it woed up and down the pit road. And also it looks like Ira Koolhaas is going to be hard on the brakes back there.
Almost slid into that wall. Makes his way to his box, still waiting to see what the leaders do. Wilson and Sturgill still on the racetrack.
Yeah, Wilson, Sturgill, Dudley, Dill, Leach, Holmes, Eisenhower, and Holly, who just won a lap down, running in the 8th position. While we're under the final green flag pit stops here for the final race of the year, the 5150 Championship Week here presented by Doug Ungari is nearing the final stages of this event. We are waiting for our leaders to come down pit road for the final time here, but Wilson will stay out. He'll lead his 106th lap here tonight.
Just another dominating performance by Wilson. But I don't think he can stay out that much longer. I mean, it'd be heartbreaking to lead this many laps and throw it away on strategy.
Well, there's a reason he's out behind the wheel and we're not, but or at least I'm not. As Holly Hardin packed out of turn 4 with the right side of that machine.
Keeps digging. And he has been overtaken and put a lap down by Wilson. Ryan Jones was all over the bumper of Sturgill on fresh tires. Oh, got another slider off the banking in turn 2. That was Jeff Pogo.
It looks like he gathers it up, though. I think he's going to be all right. He might have just scared himself there, but we're going to stay green flag racing. What a disappointment that could have been to wrap up that machine here after you already know you're going to have a championship under your belt to bring back a tore-up car. Then Adam Holmeslow was down pit road now.
Now looking at Pogo, I mean, that car was stepping out on him before he even got to the turn 1 and fought that car all the way through 1 and 2 and did a great job holding on. But that'd be a bad omen for him to win the championship but end the season with a destroyed race car.
Yeah, so he'll just fall. Oh, now he's into the outside wall to turn 4.
I gotta stop talking about him.
Yeah, we're going to turn the camera off him. Robert Dudley down pit road in the 49. Yeah, that wasn't us talking about him when he hit the wall. We didn't do it. Right.
I'm sure he'll forgive us later, though.
I don't know. We didn't do anything. All I can tell you is Ryan Jones just unlapped himself. Well, from 2 laps down to 1 now.
Jamie Leach just passed Dan Dill for, what is that, 3rd position. Although those two still have yet to make a green flag stop. Here comes John Mullins.
That was a little bit close. I was sitting here with my mouth open as the 64 closed the gap so quick on Jamie Leach. For a second, I thought Jamie was going to come down pit road, but it just would have been a disaster for both those drivers. Mullins on those fresh tires. Look at him just drive away from Jamie Leach there in turn 1 and 2. Schmidt has to run back down now, that 64 machine of Mullins.
Curious with this strategy, though, for Justin Wilson.
Fresher tires at the end?
Possibly, or maybe he's thinking of maybe 2, knowing that he doesn't have to take on that much fuel. I'm not sure, considering, having the dominant car of the evening. Figure you'd want to be on pace with everybody else, or relying on a caution. Of course, we've only had just 1.
I thought he was going to be coming down pit road there as Donald Bennett got around him. It looked like Wilson was just going to dive
Jamie Leach.
Eric Holly also down on pit road. It'll be the final stop for Eric Holly here tonight. Jason Eisenhower in the Sim Speed Shop machine is coming down. Got his black box made by Sim Speed Shop out there. He's pushing the buttons, telling his crew what he's going to need: 4 tires and a full tank of fuel for the driver of that Chevrolet.
This is going to be a really, once this all cycles around, I'm looking, John Mullins has Steve Schmidt all over the back bumper of him. But I would imagine that would be the race for the lead once Wilson and Sturgill hit pit road.
Yeah, on the long run, that 64 Mullins, though, has had the stronger car out of the two between Mullins and Schmidt. But now Schmidt right now has 2-lap fresher tires here in the early stages. And here comes Schmidt down to the inside of Mullins going into turn number 3. They go side by side for that battle, or for that position.
And Dill is on pit road as well, so just the front two. Oh, we got a caution on the racetrack down the back straightaway.
Looks like Jeff Pogo is up in a ball of smoke, and Miroslav Mach is also turned around, and that's gonna put a damper on the night for Jeff Pogo.
Wow, that's huge. Well, I mean, maybe Justin Wilson and Michael Sturgill knew what they were doing.
So what happened to Jeff Pogo as he was running out there? You saw him go for a slide. You see him just go around Jamie Leach there, who just came out of pit road. Jamie was in the 10th position at the time of this.
Oh, what happened in front of him? Mach down the racetrack. He got in trouble, and then Pogo trying to go to the apron, but that's where Mach was headed in a heavy, heavy impact against the inside wall for our champion.
Well, let's watch it back. There we already see the 68 slid. Tried to gather it up, and he did turn left to try. Oh, he spun the tires, and that's what sent the 68 to the left, and Jeff with nowhere to go. Let's see. Oh, Miroslav was coming off pit road, and he just lost it coming up through the gears.
That's a tough thing to do on those cold tires. But it's got a big thing on the scoring here, because still just the 2 cars on the lead lap, Wilson and Sturgill. Steve Schmidt is able to pass John Mullins, so he will be the lucky dog. We're going to have a ton of wave around cars.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely crazy to see. Mullins actually coming down pit road. I'm not sure.
That might be a mistake.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he knows what side of the strategy he's on here, as he is showed a lap down, so there'd be
even Holmes penalty. Also on pit road, although he's a lap down. I'm not sure why they did that. I would assume they knew pit road would be open for them next time.
Yeah, we'll have to see what's going on there. I believe that's the end of the longest line penalty possibly pending there for the driver of that 64 Mullins.
Well, that would be detrimental to him, given how strong of a race he'd been having, especially on the longer runs, but he's going to have his work cut out for him if the penalty is what we think it is. Plus the fact that he's won't be in position to take the wave around. He'll still be a lap down anyway.
So a late race caution involving our championship leader of Jeff Pogo is going to shake things up here.
I believe Jeff is going to call it a night and say that's enough action for one season. I'm the champion and can't take it away from me. Sure, he's not that happy right now, though.
No, I can surely tell you that it's going to take a moment for Jeff to possibly calm down and get his nerves underneath him here before we're able to get a word in with Jeff.
Especially given the situation on how he just got taken out, because that was a really rough situation there.
So Steve Schmidt will be the wave around car here in the 3rd position. He'll come down. He'll get 4 fresh tires. Looks like a lot of people, though, going to stay out here and try and catch this wave around.
Well, that was a good break and a bad break for Steve Schmidt, because he would have been the race leader had it stayed green when Wilson and Sturgill would have had to pit. But since he did pass Mullins, he was the first car lap down, so we'll still have fresh tires. And even though he's the lucky dog, he'll be restarting in 3rd place.
That's not a bad dog. It's not a bad place to be.
Nope, not at all. But still curious the decision process of John Mullins and Stephen Holmes to pit after just taking fresh tires and keeping themselves a lap down.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's dial up oh, wait.
I see what you did there. Oh gosh. Well, we could dial up Stephen Holmes, perhaps.
Why not? Let's pull him up here. Let's get him here in the waiting room so he knows we're incoming. And then, bam, just like that, let's talk to the driver of the number 9 of Steve Holmes. Holmes, it's Muth and Taylor up here on the booth. What the heck just happened there with you coming down pit road?
Well, earlier in the race, Bennett got off of turn 4 and got a little bit of damage going through the infield there, so I decided to take a little bit extra time to go ahead and get it fixed.
Now I do see it as we zoom in on this Grizzly camouflage winter green car. Yeah, the damage, Taylor, on the nose of this car was camouflage.
Yeah, I see that now. Now I get a closer look. But the only problem is you're still a lap down. Do you think you can get around John Mullins and maybe get a lucky dog?
I'm hoping I can. I'm sure that the yellows are not done, so hopefully I might be able to get the wave around here, or the lucky dog, and get back on the lead lap and maybe take it to him.
There you heard it. That's exactly what happened there. A little bit of extra time needed for the driver of that number 9 Grizzly machine to get some of that camouflage damage. I'm not even sure if his crew was able to see that damage to fix it.
Yeah, it might be tough, but this could be a weird looking lineup because there's only going to be one car on the outside lane, and that'll be Michael Sturgill, and literally every other car will be on the inside lane.
Yeah, everybody going to try and shake things up here before we go back. Green flag racing. Jeff Bogo, though, we can tell you, race fans, is out of his car. A little unhappy. He is surveying the damage of that 24, and he is down pit road. Let's see if we can get a word in with Jeff Bogo in a little bit here. But the iRacing pace car are going to dive in, and we're about to go back to green flag racing. It'll be 32 laps to go here in the 5150 championship night here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And an awkward start there. Wilson gonna get a really good start, and Sturgill not gonna get a really good start.
Some lap cars up in between some of the wave around cars. That might make things interesting. John Mullins being one of them.
You can't even find Mullins on my time. There it is. He's in 11th. But he is the 4th car in line here. He is the first car 1 lap down. He has race winning speed. Now he
This might be a tight squeeze. As Miroslav Mach, yep, there we go. Contact back there as they came up on Mach again. With that heavily damaged car, and we just run into a funnel off turn 4. It gets that narrow. But I think Stephen Holmes hit it. Don't be surprised if they start having a rash of yellow fever here.
Well, that's not what Justin Wilson wants to see, as there is only a couple guys he really has to battle with now, because the tire strategy for a lot of them are all over the ballpark. Your top 3 have 4 fresh tires. Lafaro back there, who runs 4th right there in his Rev DC Solar Toyota. He is out there for the last 18 laps on those tires. Then it's Robert Dudley sitting in the 5th position. He's been out there for 13 laps. Then it's Big Country Cole Haas, probably one of the better factors here of this yellow. He is now up to the 6th position with 18 laps on his tires. And Ryan Jones is running 7th with 20 lap-old tires. And it's Eisenhower and Leach running 8th and 9th with 10 laps on their tires. And Dan Dill rounds out the top 10 with 9 lap-old tires.
Yeah, that caution kind of hurt Dan Dill the most, because he was one of the last cars in that group to come down pit road, and although he has less laps on his tires right now, it cost him as far as a few positions on the racetrack. You know just how important track position is. Been displayed tonight.
Going to be 28 laps to go. We're in a 3-car battle here at the front. It is Wilson, it is Schmidt, and it is Sturgill. Your top 3 nose to tail. Then it's Mullins, who's a lap down, and Holmes, who's a lap down right there.
We talked about Justin Wilson maybe conserving a little bit earlier in the race. There's no time for that anymore. Michael Sturgill looks to try to peek his nose to the inside of Steve Schmidt, but couldn't quite do it.
As there's a bunch of smoke off of turn 2. I believe that's the 31 of Bennett, and Bennett has now lost the hood on that turn 3 Racing Network 31. He didn't see this once again is why we can't have nice things.
It looks like it's kind of bizarre. Scrolling back to the replay, it kind of just got loose through the first dog leg and spun and hit the outside wall first, and then came down and clipped the inside wall. But a tough break for the 31. Right on that edge of the top 10 in points. This definitely won't help.
Yeah, because Mullins, who is outside the top 10 there, is having will be having a better night now at this point. Mullins, remember, in the 11th spot, 1 lap down. Bennett will have to run down pit road like he is, and he is right now 3 laps down. He will fall to the 18th spot. Sorry, 16th spot.
Now, if Steve Schmidt has anything for Justin Wilson, I don't think he can wait around very longer, as he's peeking to the outside as Wilson comes down to protect. Wilson got the left front on the apron a little bit, and here comes Schmidt to the inside, going to cross him over.
Yeah, really good executed move there by the 11 of Steve Schmidt. Now can he just clear the 50?
Oh, Michael Sturgill! It's into Wilson, and hard into the wall goes the pole sitter and race dominator. Remember, these two had contact last week under caution at Homestead. Not sure if that was just a racing deal or if there was some leftover hard feelings from last week. We'll have to take a closer look here.
Well, let's throw things back on the replay and see what happened there. You saw Schmidt come out of turn 4 with a good run to the inside on Wilson, and then Sturgill.
Oh no. Whatever the case, I'd say that could have been avoided, but I'd definitely see the wheels on the front end of that 90 car kind of turning to the right.
Yeah, we're throwing over top, race fans. We'll let you decide what happened here going into turn 1.
I mean, although he entered about a lane and a half up, but usually you should have enough front grip at this point in the run.
Well, what we can tell you, though, we're going to have a shootout, a 20-lap shootout coming at us right now, though. It is going to be Steve Schmidt, Michael Sturgill, Luke LaFaro, Ira Kohlhaas, Robert Dudley, your top 5 coming down pit road here. The big benefactor of that, John Mullins, will wind up getting a wave around here, and if Steve Holmes stays out, he'll also be back onto the lead lap. Cody Levitt was strapped a lap down in his 7.5 Brewing 38 machine. He could possibly get back onto the lead lap here because they all have enough fuel on board their machines, as you see the green machine of Mullins getting the wave around, so he'll be able to tag the rear of the field, and he'll actually be able to put 4 fresh tires on that car yet.
That's right, that was just what the doctor ordered for him, although he had a tense moment right in front of him. Because if he doesn't stand on the brakes, and if he runs into the 90 car of Sturgill and gets incident points, then he doesn't get that lucky dog. So a great job by him to stay out of that, and we'll get rewarded, and hopefully we'll see what kind of charge he can make. Justin Wilson's still on the lead lap, although he's got to be very upset as to what just took place. At that point, he had led all but 8 laps of this event.
All but
Now
10.
has a mangled race car. Yeah, he's scored in 10th place, but he's got to have a hard time keeping up his speed.
Yeah, rough.
No back bumper on that car.
A rough night for the Xfinity side of things champion here tonight. I don't believe that's going to be a race-winning car any longer.
Not at all. But that definitely shakes things up at the front of the field, and didn't Dill stay out? No, he didn't stay out.
I think
he might have just drove on through.
He drove right through pit road there. There is no stop in the pit box for the 81 of Dan Dill. So I think what Dan's probably doing here is he's getting his laps led for the evening, and then he will end up pitting with the 1 to go marker. That's usually a Dan Dill strategy.
Well, you never know. I mean, you know how Dan is. He might actually stay out. Although that would not sure exactly how many laps on his tires, but pretty high up there. And
well, you're definitely not wrong on that. I mean, Dan is a wild card, that is for sure. But right now, the time and scoring is telling us Dan Dill, Steve Schmidt, Michael Sturgill, Justin Wilson, Luke LaFaro, Robert Dudley, Jason Eisenhower, Ira Kohlhaas, Ryan Jones, and Jamie Leach, your top 10. John Mullins, race fans, for all you Mullins fans out there, he's shown in the 11th spot with 4 fresh tires, and he'll have a chance to go at it here with about 20, we'll call it 19 when we go back green.
well, yep, Dan Dill is coming down this time. Just wanted that lap led. So it will be Steve Schmidt at the front of the field. Justin Wilson still being, he's going to take this restart in third, but still don't see that car contending.
Yeah, maybe he's, well, we're not going to say it. We're not going to try and
It's probably
suggest
pretty
it.
hot under the collar right
Yeah.
now at the 90 car of Sturgill right now.
So right now, your second place in your championship hunt, Luke LaFaro, is still out there, and he will actually restart the second row, second car to the outside in the 4th spot.
Sure, these guys on the inside lane are too thrilled to see that damaged 58 car of Wilson. I know he's going to still try to win this race, but sure they would have liked him to try to hang at the back,
Yeah, it'd be
given the
interesting.
damage that he has, because it might back up that inside lane on the restart if he can't keep pace.
It'd be interesting to see if that Cartoon Network car is going to be able to get up to speed, or if Shaggy's going to pull him back a little bit there with all that damage back there. But we're about to find out. It'll be 19 laps to go here in the season finale, the 5150 championship race here tonight, presented by Doug Ungari. And we're going to have a shootout to decide the winner here. We already know who the champion is in Jeff Pogo, but we're going to find out who's going to be the winner of the 5150 championship race. The pace car is down and away, and holy Schmidt, Steve Schmidt going to launch here and get a good start. Sturgill going to change lanes before the start-finish line, though. That could result in a drive-through, I believe, here if the Overwatch was watching.
That was very marginal, to put it politely.
Yeah, it
But
was
a great
close.
restart by Schmidt.
LaFaro going to dive to the inside here on the wounded 58 machine. And then look at the
they're
battle
gonna-
behind them.
They're stacking up behind Wilson. I could see it brewing.
Eisenhower trying to get around that 58 machine now, and here comes Ryan Jones, and see how patient Jones is behind the 58, as now they're all going to try to go to the outside to work around that driver with the wounded car to the inside.
Apparently, at least no black flag for Michael Sturgill yet regarding that restart. Still trying to run down Steve Schmidt, try to win this race, even with some right front damage after that contact.
And Eisenhower and Jones, now Mullins, all make their way around the driver of the 58 of Justin Wilson. So Wilson is falling like a rock in the ocean here, now with all that damage.
Steve Schmidt just clipped the wall a little bit on the entrance to turn 3, trying to get that arc. It cost him a couple of car lanes right there.
Yeah, so it'll be 16 laps to go, and it'll be the holy Schmidt, Steve Schmidt out front with Michael Sturgill now right on the back bumper. And how about Luke LaFaro? He never rolled over. He knew the uphill battle it was going to be coming into tonight, and right now he is running right there in the 3rd position. But how about Robert Dudley? How about Jason Eisenhower, race fans? These are a couple of the drivers that were buried right around the 10th position all night long, and now with 15 laps to go, find themselves inside the top 5, and all you need is a chance here with this Cup Series package that we have here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
How about Ryan Jones right behind them in 6th place? We saw him spin out of turn 4 and not get a caution flag, and he's recovered nicely, knocking on the door of the top 5.
Yeah, but don't look right behind him. It's the green machine of Mullins.
There you go.
I mean, look at him coming. He's got the fresh tires. He definitely has the speed, but he has 14 laps to go here at the 1.5-mile track to get things done. So where is Sturgill going with that number 90 machine? Did a penalty now come down, or did he hit the wall? I missed it.
I don't think he hit the wall. He might actually have gotten the call to pit. He is very unhappy as he is flying through pit road at full speed, and he has been removed from the server. We've got a caution on the racetrack. We've got a crash in turn 2.
I was gonna say now
Nathan
that
Eisenhower, Ryan Jones.
Now that everything here in the timing and scoring has gone hectic with that removal, let's see if we can find what happened here on the replay. Let's throw it back on the replay and see what we see.
Looks like, I don't know if Eisenhower had to check up for the 49 at Dudley, but whatever the case, Ryan Jones got in the back of him. And John Mullins ended up getting into the back of Ryan Jones, just a chain reaction situation. Yeah, Mullins sustained pretty heavy damage right there.
Well, as all that just unfolded, now throw another monkey wrench into it. Taylor, what would you do? You're the man that drives these things. What would you do here with 12 laps to go? We'll probably go back racing with about 9 laps to go.
I'd still come down and get tires, at least if you're in the front, but never know. Some of these guys in the back of the field, maybe someone like Cody Levitt that doesn't have any damage and doesn't have much to lose, maybe he could chance it with. He'll say you at least need 2 tires here.
Yeah,
You probably still need 4, but you never know if someone might gamble back here.
Well, a couple people with different strategies here. Schmidt gonna pull LaFaro along down pit road, but then Dudley, Mullins, Leach, and it looks like
Cole Haas
and Jones all gonna stay out, so 5 drivers gonna risk it to see if they can sneak a win away here. And while we're all under caution flag, we're gonna step away for a moment. We're gonna wet the old whistle to call the final few laps here in your 5150 championship race tonight, presented by Doug Ungari.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
We're almost out of fuel. You'll have to come in for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
Well, welcome back, race fans. As you can tell, the lights on the iRacing pace car are out. We're going to have an 8-lap shootout here for the championship event. And, well, it is going to be a different lineup here inside your top 4 drivers. It's going to be Robert Dudley in the ALS machine, bringing us back to the green flag with Jamie Leach on his outside. Then it's going to be all bucked up Cole Haas there in the 3rd position. Then Ryan Jones in his white claw machine. Then it's going to be the 4 fresh tires of Luke Lafaro. Then it's the 2-tire stop for Steve Schmidt, 4 tires for Stephen Holmes, and Dan Dill, Jason Eisenhower, and Cody Levitt round out your top 10. They all have 4 tires as the iRacing pace car is down on the way. Put 8 laps on the board, and let's hammer down. Here we go. A pretty good start there by the front of the field. Then Robert Dudley.
That looked a little questionable, too.
And
as far as maybe moving up to the high side too soon. We'll see what race control says, but that might not matter because he's got company in his rearview mirror. Steve Schmidt looking to barge through on those fresh tires. Luke Lafaro getting held up by Ryan Jones. And Jamie Leach getting pushed to the lead by Steve Schmidt.
They're going to get close down there in 3. They separate, though. Out of 4, it will be the 49 of Dudley at the line. But here comes Holy Schmidt and those 2 tires.
And he got a much better jump on the restart, and Lafaro is still stuck behind some of these guys.
And Lafaro's up against the outside wall there coming out of turn 2.
Look at Jamie Leach hanging tough on the outside of Robert Dudley. I mean, Jamie Leach was back in 14th spot earlier, just struggling.
And here comes Dan Dill on 4 tires. It'll be 6 laps to go, and it's anybody's ball game at this point.
The leaders rub getting into turn 1, but they make it work. Oh, Dudley pushes up the track. Steve Schmidt gets into him. They're both in the inside wall.
And they're both down off the racing surface.
No caution.
Oh, there is
now
a
the caution comes out. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man, it looked like Steve Schmidt was sitting in the catbird seat. Robert Dudley on those older tires just split up the racetrack, bounced off Jamie Leach, and nowhere to go for Steve Schmidt, and both of those cars are heavily damaged and limping towards pit road. And it looks like we might have a green-white checker situation on our hands, Roger.
Yeah, here's the replay, though. Dudley up into the quarter panel of Leach, and around he goes into Schmidt. They both make hard contact with the wall. That's what happens here. And, yeah, we might have to go to overtime for this one. I believe we will be headed straight to overtime. Well, 160 laps ain't gonna be enough to finish this one in regulation.
Well, now the call is easy. You stay out on the racetrack and you got what you got.
Because the next flag could possibly end it here. Dan Dill, though, Ivor Cole Haas, and Sitting there, Luke LaFaro is going to have another shot at this in his Rev DC Solar Toyota. He is 4th. Ryan Jones is 5th. How about Cody Levitt? This is the highest that the 7.5 Brewing 38 has been tonight, and that's in 6th. Steve Holmes is there in 7th. Mullins going to have another shot at it, though. He's going to restart here 8th as Eric Holly going to get back onto the lead lap here. Eisenhower is 9th, and Wilson is in your 10th spot. Dudley is down pit road. He is scored as your 11th place driver. Steve Schmidt is down pit road now, showing 1 lap down in the 13th spot.
Now, Stephen Holmes, if you're listening to our broadcast, you were right all along about didn't think we were done with cautions, and boy, what an incredible turn of events we've seen. How about our front row for this restart? Jamie Leach and Ira Kohlhaas.
Yeah, Kohlhaas has not won a USRA sanctioned event ever. And well, here's Jamie Leach, who won back, if I remember right, it was Darlington, the throwback race earlier in the year. He had the old Rusty Wallace Miller genuine draft car, and now he's got the Great Lakes Brewing number 2 up here with another chance to win another one of these races here to kind of go out. He now, as I'm looking at your point standings, he actually is in your 3rd place in points as he's ahead of Dan Dill, and Eric Holly is buried a little bit deeper back into the field.
And if you recall, Leach's win at Darlington only led the last 4 laps. So, I mean, he might not be up there leading that many laps, but he's led the ones that count the most.
Yeah, I mean,
how big would this be to end the season for him? And possibly Ira Kohlhaas, like you mentioned, has never won one of these USRA events. Be awesome to end the season with him in victory lane.
Yeah, you talk about leading laps. I mean, look at Wilson. Prime example. Led 128 laps here. Made contact with the 90 of Sturgill. And then his night is pretty much over. He's still out there running on the lead lap in the 10th position. But the car is too damaged that he won't be able to compete here to finish this one out. Jamie Leach ran outside the top 15 most of the night. Now finds himself in a chance to win it here. And he has only led 4 laps, and it's been the 4 laps under yellow.
As we are working lap 158, so it officially will be green-white checkered. Steve Schmidt has called it an evening. What a heartbreaker he must be going through right now, knowing he was in the prime position with those fresher tires over the guys in front of him, but just couldn't make his way by him in time. And they wrecked in front of him. He was a victim. Like we mentioned, 1 attempt at a green-white checkered finish in this league. The lights are out this time. So they could all stack up on the restart and someone could enter turn 1 not even up to full speed and win this race. But
well, let's not hope
the case,
that
it's going to get crazy. Yeah, well, yeah, obviously we hope that doesn't happen, but whatever happens, we know it's going to be wild.
My money's on the pace car here tonight. I'm just kidding. This is going to be the last time we see that darn pesky Mustang out on track. It'll be Jamie Leach, it'll be Kohlhaas, then it'll be Dill on the 4 fresh tires, along with LaFaro there. So row number 2 has 4 fresh tires compared to row number 1. They got the older tires, but do they have enough laps here? When will Jamie Leach fire off? It's going to be all in the control of the number 2's hands here on this restart. Can he get a good enough jump and stack up Ira Kohlhaas into maybe Luke LaFaro or Dan Dill here?
He's got to be really thinking in his head right now when he's going to go and execute that shifting point when he does, because he spins the tires and could cause a huge mess at the front. But we're about to find out as the pace car is off. It's time to finish off the season here at Charlotte.
Yeah, the iRacing pace car makes the left-hand turn for the final time. When will Jamie Leach go? He's going to fire off right here. The green flag is in the air for the green-white checker, and he gets an amazing start over Ira Kohlhaas and Dan Dill. Cole Haas still has the second position, but Dan Dill and his damaged 81 machine looks like he's going to have the preferred line down to the inside as they head off turn 2. It's going to be Jamie Leach giving chase. Jamie Leach out front with Dan Dill giving chase.
Don't forget about Luke Lafaro as well, as they're coming around to get the white flag. Of course, the next flag ends this race. Dan Dill is close enough. He was in this position a week ago against Justin Wilson and couldn't get it done. How about tonight?
White flag is waving here in the 5150 championship race, and it comes down to this. Jamie Leach is out front, but he's got the 4 fresh tires of Dan Dill right behind him. Dill's going to slip a little bit in turn 1 and 2. He's got Lafaro all over the back bumper. They're going to chase him down to the apron. Blocking for the second spot. Jamie Leach is going to come out of turn 4, though. Looks like he's going to have this one, ladies and gentlemen. Jamie Leach going to win the 51 championship race as they wad him up with Holmes and I believe Levitt. They're out of turn 4. Jamie Leach is going to come across the line as the winner tonight. Luke Lafaro in second. Dan Dillon third. Ira Cole Haas and the bucked up Chevrolet there in fourth. John Mullins in the green machine comes back for a 5th place finish. And how about Justin Wilson, race fans? Tore up race car and all, comes home in the 6th spot. Robert Dudley is 7th. Eric Holly, who was laps down at one point, comes back to finish 8th here tonight. Cody Levitt is 9th. Jason Eisenhower is in the 10th spot.
What a terrific comeback for Jamie Leach. I mean, he was, like we talked about it, he was out to lunch early in this race, running outside the top 15, but he's the one who's going to be making the donuts here on the front straightaway. It's a great call to stay out, and he nailed it on the restart.
Well, as Jamie Leach burns them down here tonight as the winner, Jeff Pogo's burning them down and, back behind the wall as his car melted down. He's going to finish in the 18th spot, but he is the champion this year as Dan Dill is going to celebrate finishing off a great end of the season. But these guys celebrate, and we're going to step away for just a moment. We're going to see if we can get a couple of these guys here to talk to and finish out the season here. Well, welcome back here, race fans, to the 5150 Championship Week presented by Doug Ungari. Jamie Leach going to win his 2nd race of the season. Jeff Pogo wins the championship, and we have your post-race show right here. I believe, Taylor, you have caught up with the man here of the Great Lakes Brewing #2 in Victory Lane.
I sure have. Jamie Leach wraps up 3rd place in the championship and his 2nd win of the season. What a call you made to stay out on those old tires. Talk about that decision and talk about the restart that got you just enough of a gap.
I really wasn't sure about them tires, but about midway through the run, I started saving tires, and it really started paying off towards the end. I just felt like I could stay up front and felt like I could keep the speed.
Now, were you saving tires the whole entire race? Because at one point, I mean, we were questioning what was going on with you, because Saw you back in 15th position at one point in time and thought something might have been wrong.
Yeah, the first run, I burned my tires off really quick, so I figured I'd better start saving them. Got some good advice from Pogo there and ended up helping me out.
Well, capping off a pretty solid season overall with your second win of the season. Of course, your first in Darlington. How about what kind of you looking forward to next season, and how much of a threat do you think you'll be for the championship next year?
If I get a better start to next season than I did this season, I think it's going to go pretty well. I had a little bit of a rough start first couple races of this season. If I keep it up, I think I'll be a contender.
And coming back from 4 finishes outside the top 10 to begin the year, and then a second place at Texas really kicked off the second part of your season to end up third in points. Before we let you go, who do you got to thank for your efforts here tonight?
I want to thank all the admins in the USRA. This is a great league, and I'd like to thank you up in the booth, all you guys up in the booth. And I'd just like to say that I only smile in victory lane.
Well, then we'll better be smiling all night. But,
yes, sir.
Well, great to see you pull it out here tonight, and congrats again on a solid season overall, as well as the win tonight.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to next season.
Yep, we are too. It's been fun to watch. I believe Roger is caught up with our runner-up finisher, Luke Lafaro.
Well, I haven't quite caught up with Luke Lafaro, but I have caught up with the third-place driver out here tonight. Dan, new colors on the car, and you've been riding a high for a couple of weeks here. It looks like you're going to finish out the season possibly, I believe, 4th in the point standings. It's the highest you have ever come home in the point standings. But before we talk about that, talk about the night here. That final restart, you were the man with the 4 fresh tires. Did you think you had a chance to win this one yet?
No, I didn't think I had enough for Leach. I got some damage a little earlier, and I knew that was hurting me. I figured the tires were probably going to equalize it out. My main goal on that restart was just to get in front of Ira, and I actually wasn't expecting Luke to come up like that. But when he did, I raced him, but we didn't touch. We ran real good, clean, a couple laps.
Yeah, it was some real, I guess you want to call nerve-wracking or hold on to what you got around you. Final laps there. You threw a block on Luke Lafaro there going down the backstretch all the way down onto the apron. Did you possibly think about making him take that flat apron around the corner?
No, actually I didn't. Because I was throwing the block and I knew he was going to keep going, but whenever he went down to the flat, I wasn't going to pinch him down there. I figured that would probably take me and him and everybody behind us out, so I let him come back up, knowing he was going to get the spot.
Yeah, but a third-place finish tonight's got to feel pretty good. You set record highs this season for yourself. Most top 5s you've had with the USRA in any other divisions, whether it was the Truck Series or the Xfinity side. So the Cup cars were pretty well to your liking this season, I guess you could actually say.
Yeah, when we first went to these before the season started, we started running some practice races. I knew that it suited my driving style a little bit more. It's better for tire management and everything. So I mean, yeah, it helped me better.
Well, all in all, Dan, a good run here in the season for you, and a third-place finish here for you. And this, well, it was an unsponsored car up until race time here tonight. Who do you got to thank for another podium finish to round out the season?
Obviously, I got to thank my wife and kids for allowing me the time to be up here doing this. My teammates, Steve, Pogo, Eric, they helped me all season long. We do a lot of practicing. Thank my sponsors, Bauman and VP Race Gas, and want to congratulate Pogo on his championship. And I also want to thank Leach's sponsor, Equate. That's a big one.
Well, all right, that's what Dan Dill has to say. It's the man that has more strategies than I have hairs on the top of my head. Tonight he played a strategy very well, starting from the pits after qualifying second, drives all the way back to a third-place finish. So congratulations to Dan Dill and all the guys behind the scenes there. helping him out. Now I believe, though, Taylor, you have caught up with the man who not only finishes second here tonight in the race, but he's going to fall short in the championship hunt, and he's going to finish second.
Yep, I have caught up with Luke Lafaro. A pretty solid run tonight, keeping the car in one piece. Came up 0.2 of a second shy of your third win of the season, but it looked like the call to take 4 tires was a pretty good one, but kind of got held up on that restart by Ryan Jones, and then if you could have been able to get through there quicker, I think you would have had a better shot.
Overall, I thought it was a good race. Charlotte's one of my best tracks, but yeah, Ryan Jones kind of held me up more than I would like to, and if I got around him within maybe a corner earlier or two, then I would probably have a better shot at passing Jamie, because I was on fresh tires and they weren't.
That certainly paid off coming on that last lap, especially entering turn 3 on the apron and having the grip to keep that car under control. Of course, a terrific season overall, but just a little bit short of the championship. And as Roger talked about, the first season with these Cup cars, you and I have some experience running Cup cars together in Laura on Wednesday nights. How much has that experience helped into this season?
I thought when we ran Laura last season, and when I heard USRA was running the Cup cars, I thought I was gonna do pretty good this season because of the experience I had in Laura. But yeah, I mean, I like the way these packaged cars are. It kind of fits my style a little more, so I like these cars.
You certainly proved it tonight, as well as the entire season. Although won't come up with a championship, but still can't hang your head at all on a terrific season. Who do you got to thank for that number 20 Toyota Camry?
I gotta thank my parents, all the admins for putting on a great season. This is one of my favorite leagues to run, and congrats on the championship, Pogo.
Well, we know you'll be coming out next season swinging for the fences and hungrier than ever, but congrats on a great season, man.
Thanks.
Well, Jeff Pogo didn't quite have the night he was looking for, but he does wrap up the season championship. He is standing by with Roger as we speak right now.
Yeah, I have caught up with the champion here after all the points are said and done, tallied up. Jeff Pogo may not have the finish he wanted here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway for your championship race, but Jeff, you had enough cushion coming into tonight that your 18th place finish here tonight absolutely means nothing. Congratulations first off on your championship and setting quite a feat here with your stats all season long. How did you maintain that pace all season?
A little bit of luck, I would have to say. Like you said, didn't have the best of luck tonight, but I just tried keeping my nose out of places that I don't think it should be. I mean, these cars, you see, they're pack racing. So if you see something that might get a little dicey ahead of you, you just got to be smart. You got to get out of it before something bad happens. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, tonight you just were unable to keep that car clean, which, like we said, really didn't matter. But you got to feel pretty good all season long here, finishing only 3 times after tonight outside the top 10 all in all. This is not your first championship, though. You've won the Xfinity Championship, I believe, twice, if I'm not mistaken, once by 1 point over Chris Brown last season on Thursday night. So your 3rd championship all in all, and you haven't been on iRacing all that long.
No, I haven't. I run a lot of races and practice with these guys and try to get as much experience as I can. I try to stay away from the officials because I don't feel like you learn much in those.
Well, you learn wreck avoidance, which may have helped you tonight.
I don't know if it would have helped tonight, but who knows?
I think you learn of what not to do.
But yeah, it was a good season overall. I can't complain. Like I said, just try to run smooth, try to be calm, keep your nose clean. Tried it both series. Come up a little bit shy, obviously, in Xfinity this season, but it was a good run for both. I gotta say, I am pretty proud of Luke. I know he finished behind me in Xfinity in 3rd place, and then again tonight finishes behind me in this one, but he gave me a run for the money in both of them all season long. I've seen a lot of improvement out of Luke in the last 2 seasons. So, falling a little bit short this year for him in the Cup Series, coming in second place. That ain't no reason to keep your head down. He needs to keep it up and keep on pushing.
Well, I think his head, whether he keeps it up or down, is probably still going to be higher up than your little body yourself. But 17 starts 17 starts here this season, Jeff. You had 18 after tonight. You had 18 starts, 15 top 10s, 10 top 5s, 1 pole, 1 win. Your average finish this season was a 6th place finish. You had led 226 laps coming into tonight. Out of all those stats, which one do you think is probably going to stand for quite a while? Is it the top 10s?
I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty good feat, but there's a bunch of good drivers in here, so anything could happen. I'm pretty proud of those stats, but I would have been more proud, honestly, as much as I don't want to win a race. I was more proud of being first in the championship and not having a win up until Talladega.
That's pretty impressive. But, Jeff, before we let you go, once again, congratulations on your championship. Who do you got to thank for not only a couple of your wins this season, but winning your 3rd championship here with the USRA?
I got to thank you guys up in the booth for broadcasting every week. I know you guys got a busy schedule of lives. Appreciate that. Got to thank my wife for allowing me to do this. She's had her hands full. She's about 3 months pregnant, something like that. So we'll be expecting a little one into July. Got to thank my teammates, Dan, Steve, Eric, helped me all season. And really just got to thank everybody in the league for showing up every week. We got a good core group of guys that show up. And I think that's hard to find. They want to come back every week and keep racing. We're going to try to do what we can to keep them here.
Well, there you heard it from your champion this year, Jeff Pogo. Notches 1 win, 1 pole, 10 top 5s on the season, and 15 top 10s. He is your champion here with the USRA Cup Series in the first season of these guys whipping out these A-class cars. Coming up just shy here in the championship, you heard from him. He finished 2nd here tonight. That was Luke Lafaro. The rest of your championship standings are still a little bit jumbled as waiting for the points to be entered, but I believe it's going to look like Jamie Leach coming home 3rd in your championship hunt with Dan Dill there in 4th and Eric Holly in 5th. Those are your top 5 unofficial point standings here to round out the 18-week season. Well, Taylor, it's about that time. We've crowned a winner here in the 5150 race here at Charlotte for the championship week, and we have crowned a champion officially here with the USRA, and his name is none other than Little Jeff Pogo.
And Little Jeff, yeah, but he said just overall terrific year, just amazing consistency like we talked about, and we know he's not done yet, and certainly got to congratulate him on becoming a father later on this year, so a lot going on good for Jeff Pogo.
Yeah, so as Pogo is probably celebrating at this point already as he has hopped away on his pogo stick to other areas now of this night. We got to thank everybody from the USRA here for putting on the shows that they do, allowing us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network to broadcast their Thursday night shows. Unfortunately, USRA will be taking a different time slot, but rumor on the street race fans is they will stay right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Moving to a Tuesday night here, league and car unofficially determined as of right now. They will see what they want to bring out, whether it's their Xfinity car, their Cup car. Rumor has it could possibly be something a little bit newer. But, Taylor, we got to thank you for jumping up here in the booth with us towards the end of the year to call all this amazing racing action. Thank you again. But that's going to do it just about here from the Turn 3 Racing Network. We will catch you next season with the USRA right here on your Turn 3 Racing Network.